correlation is just huge, right? This is probably more geared towards sites that have playoffs. So like Underdog, which they just released their $5 tournament. And I'm trying to implement that into my drafting because I feel like other users on the app aren't taking that extra step to do so, right? Like if you stack the Cowboys, let's say you stack Dak Prescott with Gallup and CeeDee Lamb, most people are like, oh, that's fine. That's a great stack, which it is, right? That is correlation, but you could take it a step further, look at the schedule, look at the playoff weeks, see what opponents the Cowboys are playing. You look at those weeks and you can make tiebreakers between players in the tier that you're drafting in. So we want to minimize the amount of things that we have to get right. And I think one way that we can minimize it is by taking that extra step. Could be called galaxy braining to some folks, but you take that extra step and you go look at the playoff weeks, which are more important than the regular season, and you draft players that positively correlate with your team. And that doesn't even have to be with your stacks. That could be positive correlations between skill players just on your team in general. So if you draft, let's say Allen Robinson, you can go and draft a wide receiver from a team that the Bears play in week 15 or week 16.
Right. Now, what I think is important to not get lost in this point is that you don't want to be reaching on your correlations.
Yes.
Like you said it perfectly. It should be a tiebreaker in your established tiers. So for example, in that same scenario, I am coming into the back end of the 5th round or 6th round. I've got Patrick Mahomes. I've got Tyreek Hill. I'm looking at adding another wide receiver. Well, should I draft T. Higgins or Odell Beckham? Maybe it's a 50-50 thing for me. These players are in the same tier. It makes a ton of sense in this spot to go with T. Higgins just based off that correlation, just based off the fact that if this is going to be the winning team, then I'm expecting in week 17 for that game to hit and for T. Higgins to be a potential part of it. Whereas, Odell could hit, he still could hit, but it's just adding a whole nother layer of something that you have to get correct, which, reduces your chances of getting everything correct, which you have to really ship one of these large field tournaments.